Hey everybody, this is Paul doing a quick Doordash video. So I haven't made one since June 23rd. I got a few screenshots, so I guess let's jump right into it here. So this one's going to be a slight bit different because whenever I go on Reddit, I also get recommended the Uber forum also. So I wanted to post one or two screenshots from over there um, about some like good things that I see them doing that I think DoorDash could actually benefit from. Some of you may disagree because some of you are probably abusing these systems that are designed to prevent bad things, but I'll show you. So on my first good thing, um, so this is the thing that I spoke about in my last video, and now I've pretty much confirmed that if you log into a zone, and this might just be beta tested on me, I hope not, but if you log into a zone that's pink or whatever, and then it turns gray while you're logged in, the map will shift to this and it will say Mini Dashers Online. That is telling you that the zone is now gray. And this amount of orders that you see right here is all that's being offered. It's narrowed down here. Now, from what I've noticed, is there is no point chasing these orders because there's already dashers that are probably offered these. So you just do your normal spots and then you just kind of wait. So if you're seeing this, that means you're in a gray zone right now. You have no way to check that, but this is the only way to actually verify that. So this is actually a very good thing that they added, because that's one of the things we were trying to figure out is the zone just dies and there's really nothing that tells you what's going on. So this is something else. So this is stacked orders now. Previously, it wasn't actually showing you the name of the store. Um, like if you did two Petco's, if you did a Target and whatever, like McDonald's or something like that, it wasn't showing you who tipped what, where like what the base pay was. And the base pay still isn't broken down, but you can still get a general idea. So it's actually good that they're breaking this part down and it actually fits all in one screen. You can get rid of these numbers afterwards because we're not going to that many Petco's, I guess. But um, so this is actually pretty good at that. It's actually showing the names now. So 3G, let's do 3G here. So 3G comes from Uber Eats. And what I want to do is go over this one specifically. DoorDash has a problem of people using their kids' account, they're using their wives' account, um, they're signing their kids up, literally signing their kids up. So if you have a driver's license, they're signing their kids up for it. If they're over 18, they're signing up elderly people that are in the house. Um, we see people out there with three different phones, all three running DoorDash for the same person. Those kind of people. So what Uber has is a please stop and verify your account. So I think what they do is they have like a screenshot or something they want you, or like like you take a selfie. I don't know what it is, but this type of verification system. Now, what I would prefer is that it's not something like this. What I would prefer is if you show up for an order, you accept it, they know you're already parked because you clicked arrived at store, which means you're parked. Then something like this would trigger. Because right now we have a problem of far too many people in the system right now that shouldn't be in the system. This app has criminal background checks for a reason. And there are people who would not pass a criminal background check that are using their spouse's account, they're using their parents' account, or they're using their parents' ID. It's just literal fraud. They'll get deactivated at some point when some customer reports them, but these customers that are saying, "Hey, I noticed, a guy got out of the car and it says that it was supposed to be a girl. What's going on there?" So customers do report you eventually, but we need to get these people out of the system a little quicker because they shouldn't be doing this type of job if they can't get the job themselves, or they're just abusing the simple fact that you can run three phones and three apps and get three times as many orders, or three times as many chances at orders. So Uber's very bad about this, which is to the point that they had to put this in there. But also DoorDash is extremely bad because I've seen it myself. Um, so that actually is a very good thing that DoorDash needs to adopt. It's just the way that I would do it is just wait till you're at the restaurant. You click arrive at store, and then it would do like take a selfie, type in your password, something like that, or I don't know, type in your driver's license number because you would have the driver's license right then and there. You wouldn't have the other person's driver's license, so that might be a way to do it. So let's see, is there a 4G? There's a 4G. 4G. So this is if you wait longer than 10 minutes, I got prompted with this again. It's been very, I haven't had to wait 10 minutes for very long at very many places, but this is one where it popped up and it gave me the thing about, we see you've been waiting, and I didn't have to go through the automated menu to do the unassign. But it is random how this is happening, so maybe they're re-rolling this out. Also, what happened in this situation is I had accidentally backed out of the screen, and I'm like, damn, I can't unassign it now. I have to go through the help menu. Well, what happened is when I got back to the main menu, this was here in front of me. I doubt anybody's really ever seen this because there's no reason, you rarely ever back out. And you always pick an option on that screen. So they keep this option right here. So this is very useful. I really like that. So there's no 5G, so we're on to the B's. So this is the bad. So what I want to do is go over this bad one right here. So it's kind of a weird bad one. It's hard to describe. So we have certain screens that you click on where, so when you click into like these different screens right here, for example, like the customer will, for example, send you a message. So the customer will, for example, send you a message, and then it'll pop up saying that the customer sent you a message. Okay, so they'll tell you like something, like some long instructions or something like that, and you'll try to go back to where the messages were, and then you click into the message in the actual app, and it's not there. And you're like, what? What did they just tell me? So they send it through the regular text message like you would a message, but in the in-app message, it doesn't come through. It's two different messages. So then you have to search through your app messages and like all that stuff just to find a message that the customer just sent you about some kind of instructions. So there's something weird going on there. I'm not exactly sure how to explain it, but like the customer will chat you and it'll send you a message, but then when you look in the actual in-app message thing, which should be tied to their phone number, which should be where they're sending you messages to, it doesn't pop up as anything there. So I think that's an issue, maybe like a bug that they need to deal with. So let's do 2B. 2B goes back to last week. So this is that thing where McDonald's is making you verify the last three numbers on the McDonald's order. Now I'm going to show you why that doesn't work. One guy was like, no, never had this problem with McDonald's. Well, this is what McDonald's hands to me. That's one side of the bag, that's the other side of the bag. Can you tell me what the last three numbers of that order number are without it looking at the screen? And if, before you say it, well, where's the receipt? The receipt is inside the bag, I hope. So, McDonald's is pretty rushed, at least in my area. So, this is what I was talking about with that 3-digit thing being kind of useless because this is what McDonald's does. So I don't know if this is maybe like a training thing or whatever, but, I don't know. Doordash, there you go. Um, this was something stupid. It said scan the barcode on a lime. There was no barcode. There's no little thing that's on here. The store just looks up the word lime and then they type in lime and then they do that. This should be by weight. Um, Maybe. I'm not sure how you want to do this. Or just hit add X. I've noticed on some items they know that the store doesn't even weigh them. They just goes by some kind of automatic price. This should probably just say add item, like add one item or something like that, or add two items, and then that would solve this problem right here. There is no barcode. So that's a Winn-Dixie order specifically. So maybe that's a Winn-Dixie and DoorDash thing where y'all need to talk. So that was just a really annoying thing because what I literally had to do is I had to scan the barcode of something, like some random item I found on a shelf, and then like override it to say scan the picture. Because if I click item available when I'm holding a lime in my hand, I feel really stupid. And there's no barcode, I'm telling you right now, there's no barcode to scan. So, whatever. What are your drivers supposed to do in this situation? That's a bug, that's a broken item, somebody needs to talk to somebody. But you have to literally scan the wrong barcode in, click, yeah, I got the right item, and then scan it in. It's so stupid. So that's really annoying. 4B, kind of the same thing. We are getting, we get emails from DoorDash whenever we screw up orders, and it's not even our fault. If you saw this, what would you do? 2X bananas bunch. Okay, so you would think five, she wants two things of 5 to 6 bananas, right? So I chatted the customer because normally what we see is this. See how specific it is on this one? 1, of 5 to 7, and then we get to choose. We go for 7 if we can. Okay, so what happened was it said, please select small green bananas or whatever if possible. You know, they just want fresh food, right? And that goes back to this image, which was mislabeled incorrectly. This one. When I chat the customer, I say blah blah. It says 2 bunch of bananas. Do you want just 2 bananas or 2 bunches of 6 to 7? And then this is what she chatted me. Just 3 small bananas. So there is no way for customers in DoorDash to add specific notes onto specific items in for DoorDash. So this is what you end up with. So you get a screen that looks like this. This is what we see. And you see how there's no customer notes at all. Instacart has customer notes where they can specifically put. It's annoying because some customers have specific notes for everything. But what'll happen with DoorDash a lot of times is we'll get chat messages from customers saying, hey, make sure you pick the freshest stuff, or hey, I want bananas that look like this, or I want an avocado that looks like this. We'll get stuff like that. But this right here is this literally tells me nothing when the customer specifically wanted something completely different. So if I bring this to the customer, if I brought her 2 things of 5 to 6 or 5 to 7, she gets charged for all of that. And I believe this was an old lady on a fixed income. She calls DoorDash, says that I got the order wrong. DoorDash is just like, yeah, we see you got the order wrong. What was I supposed to do? It just says bunch. So, you know, and then I get an email from DoorDash telling me how to do deliver or shop and deliver orders when it has nothing to do with me. So that's something that DoorDash needs to fix, is be very more specific. If it says 2x bananas, specifically tell us how many bananas, especially if you're just going to show me a picture of 1 banana. Because as you can see here, banana bunch means that, and it means this to me. But for some reason it came through like this. So I don't know. Fix it. Maybe it's an old barcode that they picked, or maybe it's an old item they picked. I don't know. But that was a Winn-Dixie too specifically. So let's go to 5B here. 5B. This is that thing about adding items. So we accept an order. So when I originally accepted this order, it was 1, 2, 3, 4 items for X amount of, or there's all these things over here too. So you see done. So these 4 items plus this. So it was 18 items, I think for a really nice price, like 20 something dollars or something like that. And then while I'm walking around the store, I'm already 14 items in. And then they just randomly add this. That's not what I agreed to. And I posted about maybe 2 or 3 updates of these videos ago where I had a Dollar General where it was as soon as I arrived at the store. Like as soon as I clicked arrive, they added an item. And now I'm probably 20 or 30 or 20 minutes into this order searching for items in this Aldi, and then they do this. What's the limit on this? Why is this even allowed? I'm not sure what's going on here. I guess the customer's paying for a service. I understand that, but I agreed to a certain price for a certain amount of items. Now they're adding more items. So far it's only been 1 item, and it happened again today I believe, where somebody added another item once I got to a Dollar General, or like I was walking around already. But how many items can they add? Can they add another 20, 30 items on here? Can this become 34 that I need to grab now? You know, so that needs to be figured out, because that's kind of red line territory on if I just basically pull the cart over to the side and hit unassign on the order. So, you know, figure out what's going on there. Because if they add another 30 items and this all of a sudden becomes a 1-hour order, and I only agree to a certain price, I'm hitting unassign. I'm sorry. So I don't know. Figure this out. Figure out how to do that. But that's not cool. So, and then let's get to. I don't believe there's any others. So here's the WTFs. So WTF number 1. I think this is a DoorDash developer who put a note to themselves to fix something that aggravates every single person who does Winn-Dixie orders. Actually, it aggravates anybody who does orders for shop and delivers. Please remove by pound. The item is sold by the pack. Anybody who does these orders knows this. This right here is never going to happen. It's made by the butcher that day. They pack it up and then they put it in a thing. I'm not grabbing, it's not like a vat of ground meat that I grab out like a pound and a half or a pound and a quarter, slap it on a table and then like wrap it myself. These come pre-packaged, And these weights vary depending on what day you walk in the store. It might be 1.8 pounds, it might be 1.1 pounds. It all depends on what the store is doing that day. So this part's correct, 80% lean, 20% fat. But anybody who does this knows what this is. Like, and this needs to be fixed because what happens is as soon as you hit add 1x item, I believe it asks you for the weight, which is really weird when it's telling you to look for a specific pounds. And I guarantee it confuses the customers too. Like it should be like says as labeled right here. Maybe that would fix it. But it's literally a message from Doordash or it's a message from Winn-Dixie to Doordash. But somebody forgot to put this off, and I thought this was hilarious. WFTF number two. I guess let's talk about Uber and what's going on over there. So I'm trying to make this quick. So I made a video specifically about the summer slowdown, what causes the summer slowdown. Take what that video said for DoorDash and times it by maybe 10. And specifically, as I've tried to explain to these people multiple times, when somebody loses their job, and if you ever go on Reddit, the very first thing that people always recommend that they do is install Uber. And Uber is more than happy to take a flood of drivers because then they can lower their prices or their delivery times because people are going to take whatever they need to take to pay their rent. Uber is not stupid. They know this. So you also have a possibility that Uber has picked up their own little priority system because they see what DoorDash is doing. And everybody who does DoorDash knows what the priority system is. You have to be over a certain amount. You have 70%, 95%, whatever ratings and all this stuff. There is an assumption that Uber has picked this up, and there are like veteran Uber drivers that are straight up saying, "I need to leave and go get an 8 to 5, or I can't afford my rent." He calls it a side hustle, but then it's one of these very weird little things. This is not an isolated story. Uber drivers are getting slaughtered right now. Some guys are posting insane stuff. They were logged in for 40 hours and only made like $100 in a week. Insane. I would uninstall the app right then and there. Um, and the funny part is they can't come over to DoorDash, or they can, but they would have the same situation because of the way the priority system works. So these are all people that are very used to cherry picking their orders and not being punished for it. So either they're being punished for cherry picking, or there is just an absolute flood of drivers. They said it started in 2023 was when it really got bad, and it's getting worse in the summertime. So you take of that what you will, but just so you understand what's on the other side here, from DoorDash over to Uber Eats, if you're thinking like, oh, I don't want to deal with Uber anymore, or I don't want to deal with DoorDash anymore, this is what you're dealing with. This is pretty rough, and this is not an isolated story. It's all over the Reddit. This isn't isolated. I've seen YouTube videos about it. I've seen multiple Reddit threads about it. I've seen people even complaining on Twitter about it. So that's definitely something to look at. Something's going on with Uber. I'm not sure what's going on with Uber, but something's definitely going on. So I'll just leave that there. Let y'all, throw a comment on the thing if you've seen it yourself. So, let me know what you think, and then y'all have a nice day.